Hey guys, it's Simmy, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Wednesday, and that means tonight was AEW Dynamite. As far as tonight's AEW Dynamite does go, I thought it was an okay show. I thought last week was a better go-home show than this week's actual go-home show, I guess you could say. And why is Luke not full screened? My bad, my bad. There we go.
Yeah, I was pointing at that.
I look over and I go, oh, I forgot to full screen Luke's video. Anyways, I'm not saying tonight's Dynamite was bad. But what I'm saying is last week felt like a better go-home show than this week's. And I know someone's going to say, well, you probably didn't like it because you knew the spoilers. You knew everything that was going to happen. No, that's not the case. I'll say it right now. That's not the case. Because there were things I liked and there were things I didn't like. So, yeah, I'm just going to say it right now. I got bored through parts of the show. And I felt like Swerve talked forever before Brian came out and talked for 2 minutes. Was Swerve out there? Swerve felt like he was out there just jaw-jacking, saying the same stuff he's already said for 10 minutes straight, it felt like.
Yeah, it felt like he was talking for way too long, even though there was only like 5 or 6 minutes left of the show.
Well, think about it. No. Think about it. This show ended at 9:09. It normally ends at 9:06 with the overrun. They went an extra 3 minutes than they normally do. 2 to 3 minutes. Usually ends at like 9:06, 9:07. So they went a little longer than normal as well. But yeah, Swerve, I got bored of Swerve because Swerve's, I'm like, you're saying all the same stuff you've already said. You're just trying to make it sound more mean guy. Like, come on, say something new or just let Brian come out there. Brian was great in the paragraph he spit out, but yeah, I'm excited for the match. Don't get me wrong there. I think this match is going to be great. Awesome. We'll give our predictions at the end here because we will talk about all of that as well. But Luke, what did you think of tonight's AEW Dynamite?
Well, I did not look at the spoilers because I kind of wanted this to be like going into it and not knowing what's going to happen.
Right. One thing, real quick. David Decker, I'm talking about 9:06 Central Time because I'm Central Time. Anyways, go for it.
But it was okay. Wasn't necessarily horrible, but it was kind of just like, it was kind of a lot of the same stuff we've been seeing the past few weeks.
And that was like me when I say, Swerve talked forever. Boy, was that. And I'm not saying it was bad because I enjoyed it, but that MJF Ospreay segment went so long. So long. Like, I didn't know if they were ever going to stop.
Yeah, like even like the MJF and Ospreay stuff, I feel like it's always been the same stuff.
Yeah, it was good, but I'm just like, you could have cut like 3-4 minutes out of that and it would have been just as effective. I got some stuff to say about that. So we'll talk about that when we get to it because I might be thinking too much into that storyline there. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can hit that donate button down below or donate Twitch bits in the live chat to make sure your comment, question, or concern does get read live on the air. Remember, you can also support the channel by subscribing here on Twitch, either with a tiered subscription or with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Remember, a lot of people are resubscribing for their Amazon Prime for Thursday Night Football. So when you do, then go link it to your Twitch account and then go over and use that Twitch Prime Gaming subscription on us right here. It also gives you a bunch of free games, as we talked about earlier this week as well. And remember, you can also help us out over on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know when we go live, when we post new videos, and when we go and post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can subscribe to the channel by hitting that join button to become a channel member. You can do so whether that's at the $1 tier or so forth on YouTube or patreon.com/PW Unlimited. And then remember, get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air. You can donate a super chat in the live chat. Finally, remember to head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use our code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout. And you'll be supporting us at no extra cost. We got that new Marvel season of Fortnite going on right now. Doom Absolution or Absolute Doom. When you're getting that battle pass, make sure that you've got this creator code. Put in PWUNLIMITED. Maybe you're getting that brand new game, Black Myth Wukong, which is a massive hit right now. Maybe you're pre-ordering Star Wars Outlaws that comes out soon. Or on December 6th, you're going to download Marvel Rivals from the Epic Game Store, which is going to be free. That game is awesome. Use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you'll be supporting us at no extra cost. But with all of that, we got AEW Dynamite to talk about. As Dynamite comes on the air with Excalibur welcoming us to the show as he throws it to Tony Schiavone in the ring, who is moderating, I guess you would call it, the TBS contract signing with Britt Baker and Mercedes Mone. Both ladies come down to the ring, and Tony Schiavone lets us know right away both women have agreed to no physicality on each other. Mercedes won't attack Britt. Britt won't attack Mercedes. Now, am I the only one that feels like Mercedes Mone is the most annoying person in wrestling? She's got that. See it. She's got that. I want to turn the TV off. Annoying. It's that bad to me. Like,
I mean,
go for it.
So, like, originally, I feel like she was supposed to be brought in as a baby face, but now, like, since the fans were kind of the ones that, like, turned her heel, I feel like that's her gimmick now. I'm supposed to be, like, annoying where, like, the fans want to, like, turn off their TV.
But it's like, she does the thing like tonight where she's like, oh, Cardiff. But she's done that since she showed up in Boston. The whole, oh, Boston. Like, it's so annoying. And, like, I think she is a great in-ring competitor. She is really good in the ring, has great matches. But I've never been the biggest fan of her on the mic. Granted, I feel like her mic work in WWE was better, but it could have been because WWE was scripting her. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yo, I just want to say, Camille, I feel like Camille was entertaining better for way too long. She looked orange out there.
Oh, yeah. She had that MJF tan going.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know what it is about Mercedes. Ever since I don't know if it's like this new attitude she has about herself for real, not like the character or whatnot, but when she left WWE and we started seeing her do interviews and stuff on the indies with New Japan and whatnot, it's just like, she's just annoying. And I get it, people are going to dog on me for saying this, but to me, she's just annoying. Not, I'm a heel, you're not supposed to like me annoying. Just, no. Annoying. Even when she first came in and was supposed to be a babyface. But with that, she tries to get the crowd to do the CEO chant, but they boo her instead. Monet did the little DMD thing in Britt's face when she said CEO. She said, I am the future and you are the past. Monet then signs the contract and says, I'm ready for this weekend. Baker said that Monet can say whatever she wants right now. But in talking about the past, Monet hobbled into All In last year to watch Britt wrestle on the show. Before there was a CEO here, there was a DMD. I love the line where Britt goes, before, in the past, you were one of 4 women. Here in AEW, I am one of 1. I really like that line, being like, you're a 4 horsewomen. Oh, I'm just the 1 DMD. That was such a great line. Baker signs the contract, and Monet starts to mock her and make fun of her, so the crowd gives her a shut the fuck up chant. Monet said that this is Baker's dream match, as I inspired you. And Britt's like, yeah, I did look up to you, but I don't anymore. Monet then said, this is all I've ever wanted to do since I was 12 years old. Yet you had to have a backup plan in case you failed. Baker said she's had the guts, heart, and balls to do what it takes to be here. And she doesn't have a plan B, just 2 plan A's. While Monet was considered one of the best, she was showing why she's the baddest bitch on the block. Monet got one thing right. Baker admired her and wanted to be like her. As Monet walked, so girls like Britt can run. Baker is the foundation of this company that Mone is now sitting in. Mone made a difference. But the person is... Mone used to make a difference, but that person is no longer around. She's not the same. She is now a smug, arrogant ass who is worried more about the money she makes than the legacy she leaves behind. Baker doesn't know where that girl went, but hopes that Mone finds it and finds her fast, because that is the girl that she wants to beat in Wembley for the TBS title. Baker then stood up. Mone kind of stood up, and she goes, so I'm not going to hit you. I agreed to not hit you. But don't mean I can't crack that bitch. And she hits Camille with a microphone. They start fighting for a second. She then slams Camille's face into the table. She jumps on the table, does a crossbody to Camille, who then falls onto Mercedes in the chair. And yeah, Mone and Camille bailed as Baker held up the TBS championship in the air. I didn't think this was a bad segment. I thought it was pretty good, but everyone that watches any of my reviews knows I'm not the biggest fan of contract signings because the match is already official. The boss made the match official. Why do we need a contract signing? Why? I've never been the biggest fan of the whole, we've known this match is official for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, but you still got to sign the contract in the middle of the ring. Yeah. And it's with all wrestling. I'm just never the biggest fan of contract signings where for matches already official. But what did you think of this opening segment on tonight's show?
I mean, I get what you're saying about contract signings, but I think it's mainly just used for like story build purposes, if that makes sense.
Right.
I get it. I get the purpose of doing a contract signing, even though the match is like official, but I think it's more so just to like build up a storyline.
Yeah. Like, for instance, say next week on Raw, we get a contract signing between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. That would make sense because they together agreed on the match, but the GM, the whatever you want to call him, Adam Pearce, never said the match was official. We saw the graphic and everything, but the man in charge never said this is the official match. So if they were to do a contract signing for that, I'd be cool with that for the most part because no official in the company ever announced the match. This, Tony Khan freaking announced it at Comic-Con. So now we have some bit donations here from Esports Gaming Rules. He says the UK fans wishes Mone is still Sasha Banks. And do you think AEW is really going to have a TV streaming deal with WBD? I don't think it's going to happen. And I think Shane O'Mac is all elite at the end of AEW All In 2024. So a couple of things there. No, I don't think they want her to be Sasha Banks. I just think she's the heel and they treated her as the heel. As far as the AEW Warner Brothers Discovery deal, I would put 90% that deal gets done. As per a new report from Fightful yesterday, they stated that Warner Brothers Discovery has given an offer to AEW, and they're waiting on AEW to either accept it or come back with another, like a, what's the word I'm looking, counter.
Counter, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if a streaming component is with that, but they're at least going to have, how do I explain this? They're going to have basically at least the same deal they have now with Warner Brothers Discovery. But I do think maybe a Max streaming component does get added. And then about Shane O'Mac, it's possible. It's possible that eventually Shane shows up during All In. What are your thoughts on, you think they get the TV deal, and do you think Shane shows up?
TV deal, I'd say good chance. But as far as Shane O'Mac, I'll believe when I see it. That's all I gotta say about that one.
I want to say thank you to Elite Tish, who subscribed on YouTube as a channel member for 4 months now. He says 4 months. And do you think Britt will win? Well, we'll let you know that at the end of the show when we do our predictions. As we move forward, Renee Paquette's backstage with the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. Hi, guys! Jericho talked about his match tonight, questioned Tommy Billington's rights to call himself the Dynamite Kid, and all he can say is he's blood related to his uncle, the original Dynamite Kid. Well, does that really give you the right to use the name? I mean, kind of, I guess. I don't know. And you know why he started using the Dynamite Kid name?
Why?
Because damn Chris Jericho told him to. Literally, that's the real story. Jericho is the one that suggested that he goes by the name Dynamite Kid. He was just going by Tommy Billington on the Indies in Canada. And Jericho's like, why don't you use the Dynamite Kid name? Your family. So them throwing that into this little promo before the match tonight was actually perfect. Jericho
That's
said,
funny.
Right? Jericho said that Billington isn't even good enough to be on Dynamite, which is another funny line, and hopes that Hook is watching, because what he does tonight to Billington, he will do sevenfold to Hook at Wembley. Keith then goes, big ass, Wembley Stadium. And in this moment, I realized that Brian Keith and Harley Cameron are the same freaking character. You realize that?
Wait, what do you mean?
Because someone will say something and then Brian Keith will just yell in the mic to kind of like, because like Jericho was like, I'll do to you sevenfold what I do to Billington tonight at Wembley Stadium. And then Keith gets on the mic and goes, big ass Wembley Stadium. That's Harley Cameron's gimmick. Whenever Saraya is talking, Saraya will say something and like Saraya will be like, I haven't been used on TV or pay-per-views in months. And then Harley Cameron will just jump in and go, disrespected. It's the same freaking gimmick. It's the same thing.
That's funny.
I think Harley Cameron does it better, but that's just my opinion because I think Harley Cameron is funny as hell. I always think it's funny when Harley does it and then eventually Saraya will go, Harley, you're screaming into my ear. Stop. Anyways, Jericho versus Tommy Billington. Not a bad match, but did not need to go as long as it did. Did not need to go so long. Like Jericho needed to beat this guy in like 2-3 minutes max. Yet it went through a commercial frickin' break. So that's my one gripe. It's like, I get it. You want to showcase Tommy Billington. But when Jericho's like, watch what I do to him tonight, Hook. That's what I'm going to do to you, but worse. Okay, well, Tommy got a lot of offense on Jericho. So does that mean Jericho's going to struggle against Hook? I don't know. This is my thing. I feel like this match went too long. So Billington showed a lot of agility early on and hit a quick arm drag, shoulder tackle, body slam for going for a missile drop kick. Jericho took a powder, but Billington was out after that, and Jericho slid back into the ring. He distracted referee Aubrey Edwards, allowing Big Bill to attack Billington going into the commercial break. Jericho then controlled the entire break. When things returned, both men collided with a double crossbody in the middle of the ring. Billington was up first. Excuse me. And had some stiff offense. It looked like he was throwing some shots here. Jericho responded with a lion salt for a 2. It was a reversal of switches that led to Billington's German suplex for a 2, as Jericho answered back with sweeping the leg and putting him in the walls of Jericho. Billington then got to the ropes as he then waved to the crowd, but the delay allowed a snap, suplex, and a tombstone from Billington. He went to the top, and Billington connected on a dive onto Keith to the outside, then sidestepped Big Bill, who crashed into the barricade. Back up top, Billington leapt off, but Jericho hit him with a code breaker in midair and pinned him to pick up the victory. Before we get to the post-match stuff, what do you think of the match itself?
I mean, I thought it was just there, if I'm being completely honest. Like, there was really nothing. It was really just the post-match stuff that was supposed to lead to.
But I will say, Jericho did make Tommy Billington look good. He did. He did,
but I don't know. I really don't.
As far as that post-match does go, Jericho took the microphone and called Hook a stupid bastard and says, I hope you're watching. Jericho said that he'd rip Hook apart branch by branch. Hook's music then hits, and he power walked down to the ring. He got right in Jericho's face, but then was blindsided by Big Bill, who hit a massive choke slam as the learning tree stood over Hook. We learned that, actually, we already knew, but I thought it was happening on Dynamite, but I guess it's Collision. Hook versus Big Bill this week on Collision. Again, like I said, I thought that match was happening tonight, but I guess not.
Yeah, I thought it was happening tonight as well.
So moving forward, we had a timeless Toni Storm defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Saraya. And I thought the match was just okay. Toni Storm really ratcheted up the gimmick during this match. And I never once got invested because I'm like, there's no way Toni loses. Why would Toni lose the title 4 days before the damn pay-per-view in probably the biggest built-up match on the show? Some may say the Danielson match is, but I think this is because it's long-term booking. So it's like, why were we supposed to care about this match at all? The story going in was, Saraya, you're mad you don't have a match at Wembley? Well, if you beat me for the belt, you have a match at Wembley against Mariah. And it's like, no. It's not, no. So already going into it, I wasn't a fan of the match. And then as far as the match does go, I've seen better Saraya and Toni Storm matches, to be honest. So
have you seen the...
Go for it.
Have you seen the rumors about Saraya's contract?
Give me 1 second. I'll read you a report about Saraya's contract. Because Fightful had a new report about her the other day. Let me pull that up here. Go to Fightful's Patreon because that's where they posted it. Fightful does write, quote, former world champion can see their contract expire next month. Saraya, formerly known as Paige, has held world titles in All Elite Wrestling, WWE, and NXT. However, within a few months, she could end up a free agent on the market, sources tell Fightful. We've learned that the Fighting With My Family Inspirations deal with AEW was extended until late September. Was extended at least. Extends until at least September. The nature of the option on her deal is up for debate, though, as sources claim that each side has an option. However, we can confirm that the two sides have at least been in talks regarding extending the current deal for a year, whether it be a new contract or the option be exercised. Saraya became AEW World Champion at All In last year, but lost the championship to Hikaru Shida just a few weeks later. She was forced into retirement for nearly 5 years due to a neck injury. Saraya noted in 2022 that during a conversation with Triple H upon her departure, the door was left open, and it was the previous regime's decision to not retain her. Saraya doesn't officially have a match at All In. She is planned for the show, though. She's scheduled to compete for the AEW World title on Wednesday as well. So Saraya's contract could be up at the end of the month or sometime in September. Also, Mercedes did do an interview this week and stated that there are supposed to be 3 big women's matches on the show. Now, I don't know if she's considering the mixed tag on the pre-show as one of those big women's matches, but if she's not, I can maybe see Saraya walking out going, we're in Wembley and I don't have a match. Open challenge. And then you get Harley Cameron, open challenge. So I could see something like that where they add a Saraya thing, whether that's on the pre-show or on the main card. So, but yeah, Saraya's contract with AEW could be up this month or next month. I mean, like soon. We'll see how it all just play out.
Do you think she does end up leaving, or do you think AEW will use that 1 year clause?
I think, well, apparently either AEW can extend the option or she can extend the option. I think it gets at least extended.
But do you think after that thing is extended, do you think there's a good chance maybe she could consider leaving?
That's hard to say, because if she does extend for the year, then I don't know where she would be company-wise within the next year. It's just hard. If it doesn't get extended, I can see her maybe leaving. I don't know if she would go back to WWE, but I can see her just leaving in general.
Why wouldn't she want to go back to WWE?
No. I'm just saying I don't know if she would. But for some reason, there's just something in my brain that's like, she hasn't been used the best in AEW, especially over the last year. They used her being from the UK to pop the crowd or whatever to give her the belt. And I feel like if they never had, I'm just going to say it right now, if All In was not in Wembley last year, there's no way Saraya is a former AEW Women's Champion. I'm just going to say it. They would have never strapped her unless they wanted that big hometown pop in Wembley. But regardless, she's been used abysmal this last year. She won the belt, dropped the belt 3 weeks later or so, and has been booked like shit. So it's like, why would you want to stay? Why would you want to stay? Maybe go talk to WWE. I don't know. Now, as far as if the option gets picked up, I can't say because I don't know where she will be booking-wise and headspace-wise and everything within a year. Do you think she would leave if the option doesn't get picked up?
I can see it, but I don't know. If she does go back to WWE, like hypothetically, I don't know if
would they use her any better? That's my question. You think WWE would use her any better?
I mean, the women's division in WWE is already like fine. They don't really need Saraya.
Oh, I think the Raw division does. I think Raw needs a star, especially with Asuka and Alexa Bliss gone right now. I think Raw can use her big time.
Yeah, Damage Control. What's wrong with her? Or
Nothing.
Sony. They're trying to push Sonya as like a big single star now.
Yeah, but I don't. Give me 1 second. My damn Amazon Echo thought when I said Asuka, I said Alexa. No, I didn't. Anyways, I don't see Sonya as that big. Like Saraya can be someone that transcends past just wrestling. She's that kind of a star, especially because they made the movie about her. Sonya Deville, not really. The only thing people outside of wrestling know Sonya Deville for is the whole thing where the guy, tried to kidnap her. Other than that, most people only know her as a wrestler. So, at least with Saraya, yeah, she's known as a wrestler. But, like, she's done other things. She's got a movie about her. So, it's like, yeah, bigger name than Sonya Deville. Or, yeah. But as far as this match does go, crowd was, go for it.
They also got Lyra Valkyria. She's going to be a big star for Raw.
I mean, eventually, but not right now.
Not right now, but like, I think maybe down the line they'll probably want to push her as like that big singles guy. I wouldn't say by Mania, but close.
Here's the question: if she goes back to WWE, do they change her theme song, or does she get the same theme song? They're changing everybody's theme. They changed Roman's freaking theme song.
Okay, this one is an upgrade though. This Roman theme is an upgrade.
No,
yes,
it's not.
Yes, it is.
I don't think
this Roman
it is.
Theme, people like the Romans do theme song.
It's just the whole beginning of the old one just repeated, it feels like. Unless I haven't heard it properly, it just feels like the beginning with the oh, just over and over. And it never goes into the bum dum dum bum dum dum bum dum dum bum bum bum. I love the old theme song. And I usually don't care about theme songs.
Honestly, I like it. I've seen a lot of people on social media say they like it.
Hey, to each their own. All I'm going to say. To each their own.
I mean, I can see was her theme song in WWE like CFO?
It was before CFO.
Oh, it was Jim Johnson then.
Maybe. I don't know if it was, but it was before CFO. I could say that. She's had the same theme. She's had the same theme since NXT. And that was 2014 when she came into the main roster after WrestleMania 30. So yeah, that was before CFO.
That had to be a Jim Johnson theme then.
Probably. No, I like I like the Paige theme. I do. I really like Paige's theme. As far as the match does go, they were fully behind the champion, Toni Storm, who fired off an early arm drag before posing for the fans. Storm played cat and mouse, faking out Saraya. This was dumb as shit. She's like standing behind Saraya, and she'd like stick her leg between Saraya's legs, so Saraya would go to grab the leg, and then she'd pull it back. Then she'd stick the leg back out, and she'd pull it back. Then she just she starts smacking her thigh, like, give me a single leg, and then she like moved out of the way. So dumb. I wasn't a fan of this. Apparently, it's like some old school British wrestling stuff. I don't know. Both ladies screamed at one another at one point before Saraya hung Storm in the ropes before taking the ref, allowing Harley Cameron to send Storm into the barricade as Saraya followed with a somersault senton off the apron to commercial break. Storm then fought back when we returned from the break as she wound up for a home run shot, but Saraya lowered her head and dodged as Storm put the brakes on and hit a DDT. Saraya avoided a Storm 0 and hit a nightcap for a near fall. So, Did you see the thing on no, I think it was Rampage a couple of weeks ago with Harley Cameron and Saraya, where Saraya was wrestling Nyla Rose, and Harley just goes, "Saraya, hit the Rampage." Have you seen that clip going around? So Harley goes, "Saraya, hit the Rampage," and Saraya like smacks the mat and goes, "It hasn't been the Rampage for 2 years, Harley." I laughed so hard. She's like, "It's the nightcap now." And then Harley's just got this look on her face like, "Oh, my bad." No, the Harley Cameron Saraya dynamic is so funny and so great. I'm just so mad that it's always just wasted away on Rampage that nobody watches.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No. That's not the nightcap. I always mix them up. The nightcap or the good night, because she's got both like finisher style moves. I always mix those up. But yeah, no. It was funny as hell. Because she's like, "Hit the Rampage." And she's like, "Hasn't been the Rampage in 2 years." Anyways, Saraya at one point, Saraya brought Storm up in the corner for a somersault flip bomb into a good night cradle and a DDT for a 2. She took too long to follow up on this, and Storm was able to hit a choke bomb, but Harley Cameron jumped on the apron and caused a distraction, only for Storm to plant a smooch on her face. Saraya then ran and collided with Harley, as Storm old schooled her, gave her a kiss of her own, hit her with Storm Zero, and pinned her to pick up the victory. So what do you think of the match before we talk about the Mariah May stuff afterwards?
I mean, match was okay. We kind of knew Toni Storm was winning.
There was no way she wasn't. It was super predictable.
Oh, yeah.
So after the match, as Toni was celebrating, Mariah May would appear from behind and blindside her, attacking her with a shoe and leaving her bloody, as she did a couple of weeks previously. May then clutched Storm's head and kissed her before rolling around in the ring. And yeah. Kind of weird, the whole rolling around in the ring thing, but whatever. I think it's going to be a good match at the show, at the pay-per-view. Going to have a lot of good story and heat to it. So here's my question. Who, if not both, gets busted open in this match at Wembley? They've already busted Toni open twice. So is it Mariah's turn?
I think Mariah gets busted open first, but she does win the belt, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, that's my prediction, too, for sure.
Or we probably could save that later. But
no, we're fine. But yeah, I would assume Mariah as well. Again, got to get that woman's title on the person from the UK 2 years in a row.
Maybe that's why they signed Mariah May. Or actually, I wouldn't go that far, but...
So the word is that when they brought Mariah May in, the plan from the get-go was Mariah May paired with Toni Storm and eventually winning the title at All In. That was always the plan from the start, and they haven't deviated at all. Esports Gaming Rules with a bit donation. He says, "I would not bet if the reason Roman's theme music is changed is because maybe Jim Johnson is back with the..." No, that's not... No. Jim Johnson, and just Johnston, not Johnson, does not work for WWE anymore and has not been brought back. So, nope, you are wrong. Renee Paquette's backstage with the conglomeration. As Mark Briscoe said, word of the day is, and I'm going to butcher this. I wrote it, but I don't know if I wrote it correctly. Profilated, is that what he said? I almost couldn't understand what he said. He said it multiple times. Profilated, I think is what he said. Did you catch the word?
No, I didn't.
I think he said proliferated or profilated, or I think proliferate. I don't know. It's kind of hard to understand what he was saying. Because he's Mark Briscoe, and he talks like this. He's like a real-life boomhauer. He said that the conglomeration are in full force. Kyle O'Reilly tried talking like he was British, and I'm like, oh, that was bad. And then Willow Nightingale got hyped up and walked off with Kyle O'Reilly and Briscoe, while Tomohiro Ishii and Orange Cassidy just kind of stood there and were like, okay, cool. Yeah, that was a weird segment. Most of these conglomeration segments are kind of weird, but crowd likes it. I expected, so no spoilers right now, but we do know that to get into the final spot in the ladder match for the Trios Championships, it's Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta against Leo Rush and Top Flight. I expected some form of the conglomeration to be in that qualifying match, but they're not, which is weird. I thought maybe it would be because we already have Ishii in that match with Willow on the pre-show. So I thought maybe Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, and Orange Cassidy try to get into that ladder match for the trios titles. But no,
actually,
that ain't what they're doing. What?
Orange Cassidy is in the Gauntlet qualifier match.
Is he? Did he say that? Oh, that's right. You are right. He won the number one spot last week. Duh, I'm an idiot. I forgot.
So if it would have to be Kyle O'Reilly, Ishii, and Mark Briscoe.
Right, but Ishii's already got a match because he's in the mixed tag with Willow against Stokely and Statlander.
Right.
My bad. Never mind. I was wrong. So then we got Will Ospreay and MJF. And man, did this go long. I don't know if I've written this many notes about a single segment in a long time, if ever. Like, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. This shit went long. So if you have anything to say, just cut me off at any time because I got a lot written down. Massive ovation for Ospreay during his entrance as he really soaked it in here in Cardiff. He did state later he only lives about an hour and a half away from here, so really cool. Taz described this as a fart in church. As far as MJF coming out, MJF came to the ring in an American flag suit. And remember a couple of years ago when CM Punk said that Tony Khan wanted him to do like a Rocky kind of storyline? You remember that? Coming out and Punk going, I've never seen Rocky.
When was that?
So I think it was when CM Punk was facing Moxley at one point. He was like, yeah, Tony tried to pitch to me doing like a Rocky 3 storyline, but I told him I'd never seen Rocky or something like that. He did it. He just randomly said it on an Instagram story. Well, Tony finally got his Rocky storyline. Will Ospreay's Rocky Balboa, and goddamn MJF is Apollo Creed. It's just Rocky 1 instead of Rocky 3. Anyways, MJF comes out in the American flag suit as Ospreay told the crowd to give Max a warm welcome as he was showered with booze. Ospreay brings up the BBC show, Gavin and Stacey, and compares their story to his and starts making local references, saying he wrestled in a local pub once that was dirtier than the wife, which popped the commentary team. And a bunch of these I didn't understand because I ain't from the UK. Ospreay then said, call him Barry Scott because, quote, bang, and the dirt is gone. I guess that's another UK reference to a commercial for some like spray cleaner stuff. Excalibur laughed at it and then said he Googled it or whatever. MJF said that he had to do to get under the fan's skin was a kangaroo kick, and said no to the fans as they chanted shut the fuck up. MJF said that he was still injured but came back early because both the top brass in AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery needed him to come here and clean up Ospreay's messes. Called Ospreay an arrogant prick. No, he was called an arrogant prick. I wrote that wrong. Ospreay then told MJF, look in the mirror when talking about an arrogant prick. Ospreay was hyped when he heard about AEW, but he and his friends laughed when he would watch the show and see MJF as the face and the world champion, as the double clothesline made them giggle. All In last year was supposed to be the two best wrestlers in the company going at it and having an all-out great match, but instead, those two best friends just jerking each other off in the main event. Ospreay wasn't even employed last year, yet Tony Khan begged him to work the show, stating that we need somebody like you to have a great match, but don't have too great of a match to overshadow our main event, our world champion. Ospreay said that MJF is entertainment, but they're meant to cater to the fans and their voices. This isn't just about restoring the international championship, it's about restoring the feeling. And Ospreay is that feeling. MJF doesn't care about the fans. They're meaningless and brings up what America does best, win. MJF said that he believed that the four-eyed dork Tony Khan, when he said things would be safe in Ospreay's hands, ain't true. MJF said that the fans who only knew Ospreay as a red coat terrorist, well, everyone loves MJF. He wrestles around the world. He's the best wrestler on God's green earth. MJF wondered who actually called Ospreay the best in the world, and then laughed at the idea that it was the fans who know nothing about this business. Friedman is the facts, the longest reigning AEW World Champion of all time, and headlined the biggest show of all time, as he is the ace, while Ospreay is second place. MJF is from the only place that matters, the United States of America, and while Ospreay has only one move he can use to beat MJF, the Tiger Driver, he's not man enough to pull the trigger. The fans can feel all they want, as the facts don't care about feelings. Ospreay said, "Congratulations. The history books can be rewritten, but you can't rewrite the feeling that wrestling fans feel." Ospreay said, "If you go around the world and ask who the best in the world is, they'll all say it's me, Will Ospreay." It took MJF 4 years to win the fans over, while it took him 4 beats of his entrance music to do the same. Ospreay said that they don't love MJF, who exploded and yelled that they love him until Ospreay came along. MJF said that Ospreay is a great father, wrestler. But earlier today, spent time with Ospreay's wife and his, quote, so-called kid that he stepped up to father. He said, so-called, since Ospreay's wife had him with another man. Ospreay steps to him. He says, "You are nothing more than his stepfather." MJF said, "And also, I got a feeling after that conversation I had with her earlier today, the next kid she has ain't gonna be yours either." And I'm like, here's my little thing with this one. I get it. It's all storyline, made up written words. But if we're supposed to take this as real, shouldn't Will be mad that she even had a conversation with Max in the first place? Shouldn't she be like, "Oh, you're my guy's enemy. I don't even want to talk to you. Bye-bye." You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Ospreay gets,
I get what you mean.
Ospreay gets heated and goes, "Tony Schiavone, you got Tony Khan in your ear, right?" He goes, "I sure do." He goes, "Ask him how much that fine is again if I hit this bloke." Schiavone goes, "Oh, I'm being told by Tony Khan, 100,000 gold doubloons," or whatever he said, silver pounds. I don't remember. And Ospreay goes, "All right, good enough for me." And he levels MJF. Here's my thing. And we hear this and see this a lot, where Tony Schiavone will just be on commentary, grab the mic and go, "I was just told in my ear by Tony Khan that XYZ is official for such and such show." We've had that since like AEW started. Tony Schiavone being the voice for Tony Khan on television. So why do we need Christopher Daniels if Tony Schiavone can just do it and has been doing it since basically the start of AEW? Answer me that. Why the hell do we need Christopher Daniels in that role if Tony Schiavone still does it and has been doing it? That's my thing. And I think it's perfect that Tony Schiavone does it because he's already out there throughout the show, all show long, and then it's just like keyed it up in my ear. You don't got to wait for someone to come out and get a mic, and then, nope, he's already freaking there. Anyways, Kid Vicious says the UK calls them pounds. I get that, but Tony Schiavone didn't just say pounds. He said something like silver pound doubloon deal. He said more than just pounds. That's where it confused me because he said something about silver and yeah. Anyways, two start brawling. Security starts to break everything up, and MJF cracks Will Ospreay in the face with a dynamite diamond ring, busting him open. He busts him open and hit him with the brain buster, and then he jumps on him and does his own 1, 2, 3 count. MJF then holds up the American title before looking to try to go for the Tiger Driver when security again breaks it all up, and Christopher Daniels stood over Will Ospreay to get MJF out of there. And so this ends with Will Ospreay laid out and bleeding in the middle of the ring. What'd you think of this segment and everything that ensued?
The segment was pretty long. I actually had to cut my mic. There was a train.
We heard it. It's all good though. No worries.
My apartment is like pretty close to the train station, so.
Oh, my old apartment, literally, I can walk like 5 feet and there's the train tracks in my old apartment, so I get it.
But yeah, this segment took way too long. And it's like the same stuff. MJF will beat up Ospreay, then you'll hear the American music.
Yeah.
It's the exact same stuff.
I did feel like there was a lot of repetitiveness on this show tonight as far as the talking segments do go.
Yeah.
So Renee Paquette's backstage, and she's like, so earlier today, there was a commotion and a possible altercation in one of the offices. Oh, Hangman, come here. What happened? And Hangman's like, I had a talk with Tony Khan. I will be in the casino gauntlet match at All In. And anybody else in that match that steps in my way, well, I'm going to take you out. Evil Uno then just strolls on by, and he goes, Evil Uno, come here. And Evil Uno's like, hey, friend, what's up? And he's like, you know anybody that's going to be in the casino gauntlet match? And he goes, well, to be exact, I will be in the casino gauntlet match. And Paige is just like, oh, I'm going to whoop your ass. And he's just like, okay. And then he grabs a chair, cracks him in the back with the chair. Renee starts screaming, and Hangman literally looks at Renee and goes, get the hell back over here. And she starts to like walk off scared, and he just keeps yelling in the microphone. And he's like, no one's going to stand in his way. But I don't understand what Paige actually wants. Because does he want the title, or does he think Swerve is going to retain and he can get back at Swerve? Because that's the way he made it kind of sound like tonight in his promo. That he basically said, I will stop at nothing to take what he wants and has. So is it not that he just wants the world title, but he wants to take it from Swerve? So he believes that Swerve is beating Danielson. That's how I took all of this. What'd you think?
I mean, I'm not really sure.
Because like I said, he ended the promo with saying, nothing will stop me from getting what I want and taking what he has. Well, I don't know if that just means I want the world belt from whoever the champion is, or if he's still referencing Swerve. Now, I know. I know, and give me 1 second. I know there was at one point a plan to do Swerve versus Hangman at All Out. But when I heard that rumor and a central report, the actual thing with it was, but it's unclear if it's for the title or not. So, yeah.
So let's say like Danielson wins. And then, oh no.
What?
What if Danielson wins the belts at like All In, but like the only way the reason why he won, because Hangman screws over Swerve.
I wouldn't put that against him. And then that's how you get Swerve. And that's how you get Swerve and Hangman at All Out 2 weeks later.
But I don't want that match to end like that.
No, I don't either. I want Danielson to win clean, and then his kids and wife jump in the ring with him, and he literally has all four of them doing the yes chant as the show goes off the air. How awesome would that be? We've seen him and Bree do it together, but how awesome would it be for him, Bree, Buddy, and Birdie all in the ring doing the yes chant and him holding up the belt? That'd be an awesome visual going off the air.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see. Because, I mean, Tony Schiavone told Swerve, how's it feel to be the overwhelming favorite going into the show this weekend? And I'm like, no, he's not. All the betting odds got Danielson. Anyways.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I was like, yeah, everyone's saying Danielson, not Swerve.
Yeah. But they want you to think that Danielson's too beat up. Danielson's too beat down. Danielson can't get it done because his body's not going to allow it. That's what they want you to think going into it. And then he's going to prevail. I'm going to tell you right now how this match is going to go. Swerve's going to beat the ever-loving dog piss out of Danielson, and then he's going to fire up at the end and get it. It's going to be WrestleMania 30 all over again.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of title matches, we had a hell of a match. Claudio Castagnoli challenging Kazuchika Okada for the Continental Championship. I had somebody that was there live literally tell me this is the greatest match they've ever seen live in person. Now, I don't know what they have and haven't seen before live, how many wrestling shows they've been to themselves, but I had somebody that was at the show message me and just go, hey, I don't know if you've seen the spoilers, but Claudio and Okada went to a time limit draw, and it's the greatest match I've ever seen in person. I was like, oh, wow, okay. And I thought, I wouldn't say it's the best match I've ever seen, and granted, we watched it on television, not there live, feeling the heat from the crowd and everything. But I thought this was the best match of the night. I think one of the better matches I've seen on AEW weekly programming in a little while. Also, here's my question to you. With this match ending in a time limit draw, do you see them running it back maybe at All Out? Maybe doing the rematch where Tony Khan's just like, we had the time limit draw. The fans want to see it again. We're doing it at All Out. Could we get that maybe?
Maybe.
I think it's weird that Okada doesn't have a match for All In.
I don't think he does.
I think Okada, I don't think he does. I think Okada shows up. I think both of these men show up in the gauntlet match.
I don't even know if Okada really shows up in the gauntlet either.
You think they just keep him off the show altogether?
I think the only way they bring him on the show is to try to help the Young Bucks or Jack Perry. Or if not both.
Well, both of those matches are no disqualifications, so it is possible. Because the Perry match is a casket match. The Young Bucks match is a three-way, triple threats, trio, whatever you want to call them, not trios, but triple threat matches. No disqualification, usually. As far as this match does go, the bell sounds and immediately crowd starts chanting, holy shit. Just with these two guys squaring off, like Hogan and Rock, WrestleMania 18. Each man backs up into the ropes and pump fakes at each other. Clean break. Both men traded finisher attempts early on, but were unsuccessful, leading to another stalemate. After a commercial break, both men traded suplex attempts, ending with Castagnoli deadlifting Okada and slamming him down, throwing him up into an uppercut, hitting a bunch of uppercuts, actually, as Castagnoli spun around Bryce Remsburg, the referee, and then hit a home run uppercut on Okada, who fought out of a giant swing attempt. This resulted in a full-speed uppercut from Castagnoli. As back inside the ring, a forearm exchange ensued. Okada then responded with a DDT and a neckbreaker, but took way too long to follow up as Castagnoli clotheslined him to the outside. Okada then posted Castagnoli ahead of another picture-in-picture break. Back from the break, Castagnoli hit a gut-wrench slam and a running double stomp for a near fall. As Castagnoli slowly went to the top, Okada hit his signature dropkick, sending Castagnoli to the floor. Okada quickly brought it back into the ring and wanted to go to the top rope for the elbow drop, but this time, Claudio cut him off with an uppercut. Claudio wanted a super kick, but Okada hit a headbutt and a John Woo dropkick before finally hitting the elbow drop. Rainmaker then did the flip-off pose, flipping the camera off instead of throwing the arms out. Then he just kind of walked around, stepped on top of Claudio, and pandered to the crowd, I guess you could say, flipping them off. So eventually, Claudio does the Undertaker sit-up, gets up, and swings Okada around 20 times. 20. I don't know how this man's never dizzy. Like, it's wild. Claudio then got a running start, but Okada cut him off with the picture-perfect dropkick. Okada went for the Rainmaker, but Claudio ducked it, hit a springboard uppercut, actually a springboard twisting uppercut, then wanted to go for the neutralizer, only for Okada to counter into an air raid crash neckbreaker. The ring announcer, who was Bobby Cruz, not Justin Roberts, said, "This match has 1 minute remaining." Each then started to throw shots, big shots, while the crowd really got into it. Remember, we almost saw a time limit draw in the Will Ospreay MJF match. So going here, it's like, oh, are they really going to finally do the time limit draw in a title match? And they did. Claudio ducked a Rainmaker and hit a massive pop-up uppercut, but Okada clutched onto the ropes. So Claudio hit a double stomp for a 2. Okada tried to escape again, and the time limit ran out. Then the Bucks and Jack Perry came out, and the Bucks were like, you guys want 5 more minutes? Well, you ain't going to get it, because the contract with this belt says 20 minutes, no more, no less. And then FTR came out, Darby came out, they all brawled, and we led to the 6th man. But what'd you think of this match that ends in a time limit draw with the Continental Championship on the line? I thought it was great.
I thought it was a pretty good match, but sucks that it ended in no time limit draw.
But that's the thing. They didn't want to beat either guy, maybe to lead to a rematch.
I think it probably leads to a rematch at All Out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Go for it.
I don't think they have a match for Okada at All In, which kind of sucks because, you know, it's Okada.
Right.
But I say they give him the rematch at All Out.
I'm all for it. We got a couple bit donations here from Esports Gaming Rules. He says Ospreay is going to be confronted by Shane O'Mac when he wins the title, and he will say, "Bruv, who are you?" No, doubt that. Highly, highly doubt that. Go for it.
If Shane McMahon ever does like make his debut in AEW as like an on-screen character, they'll probably use him. They'll probably put him with the Young Bucks to be like the rich billionaire trying to buy AEW.
He'll be part of the elite trying to use the EVPs to get some sort of control over the company. Exactly. And then he also states, I wonder what Okada is thinking about Zack Sabre Jr. ending tradition of the G1 Climax, cashing the IWGP heavyweight title shot at Wrestle Kingdom in the Tokyo Dome. It's ain't the first time they've done this. It's ain't the first time that the winner of the G1 wanted the title shot early. So he's not breaking tradition. This then led to the 6-man tag. Darby Allin and FTR against the Elite, Jack Perry, and the Young Bucks. It was just a lot of fighting and not much. I really didn't. This match is okay. I felt like this match is more of a filler. And it's like, this is supposed to be, and they said it multiple times on commentary, this is a preview for what you're going to see at the pay-per-view. Well, if it's a preview. I mean, we did see the Acclaimed eventually, but it's like, I don't know. It was all-out brawl early on. Perry and Harwood. So, like, everyone was just brawling everywhere. And then eventually, like, Jack Perry and Dax Harwood slid in the ring. And the ref just goes, I got 2. Start the match. I laughed so hard. I thought that was perfect. Where it's like, I can't control this. I need to get this match started. 2 guys, go. Ring the bell. I like that a lot. I thought that was really clever. Allen wanted a quick tag, but Perry bailed and Nicholas came in. It didn't matter though, as Allen flew through the ropes and hit a dive onto Perry as FTR was sent outside and hit with double dives, but by the Bucks, who only celebrated briefly as Allen flew off the top with a coffin drop. Allen ultimately then wound up on the shoulders of Matthew, allowing Nicholas to hit a PK on the apron as Allen then was worked over during commercial break. Allen was dropped with a buckle bomb at one point and a corner kick to give Perry a near fall. And then things kind of broke down from there. Allen used his speed to escape the wrong corner and dove for a Harwood hot tag. Harwood was a house of fire here, dispatching the Bucks and hitting rolling German suplexes, a bunch of brain busters and whatnot on Perry. FTR then wanted to go for the Shatter Machine, but Perry avoided it as the Bucks returned, but Wheeler ran wild on them. It was a gory special attempt at one point on Perry, but the Bucks hit a super kick party and broke everything up. There's an EVP trigger ducked by Wheeler as the Young Bucks collided knees. The match then broke down as FTR and Allen and got triple sharpshooter Scorpion Deathlocks as the Elite all got the ropes and tried to bail with their titles, but Wheeler flew to the floor with a dive onto the pile. Nicholas was then crotched in the corner as Matthew fired off some super kicks. Allen hit a code red, but Perry was there for a Scorpion Death Drop. Perry then went for a charging knee, but Allen ducked and Perry ran into a Shatter Machine. Nicholas was then given a Powerplex and Allen hit a coffin drop for the victory. So the babyfaces do pick up the win. I have a question for you based off of your report today from Fightful. Fightful reported that Sting is telling people that he's going to be at All In, or at least he's going to London this weekend. Do we see Sting potentially help Darby beat Jack Perry in the coffin match? Do we see Sting at all at All In if he's going to be there?
I can see it. I'd say he's either going to help Darby win or Darby wins clean, then Sting's going to come out to celebrate.
I could see one of two things. Sting either helps Darby or Sting's a surprise. Hey, we got somebody here to announce the attendance, and it's Sting making the announcement.
Or they have Sting sit in the crowd, be like AEW, or it's Wrestling Hall of Famer Sting.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, Sting apparently, according to a new report from Fightful today, Sting is telling people that he's traveling to London this weekend. And why else would he be in London? I can see him being there Saturday for the little like fan convention they're doing. And maybe he's there to sign autographs and stuff. But so far, he hasn't been announced that I know of. I can look it up really fast, though. So AEW schedule. I don't think he's announced for that fan thing. All in Celebration. Yeah. He is not on the list of appearing. Swerve and Prince Nana, Will Ospreay, Britt Baker, FTR, Toni Storm, The Acclaimed to the Billy Gunn, Stokely Hathaway, Chris Statlander, Mariah May, Hook, Willow Nightingale, Bryce Remsburg, Aloe Gabber-Hantes, and more. So I can see them doing this all-in celebration thing. It's their version of like a fan access. And I can see maybe Sting making a surprise appearance at this. They also, it's also been reported that Sting has been backstage at a couple collisions recently, which makes a lot of sense because he lives in the area where they've been doing Collision in Arlington, Texas. He lives in Dallas. Arlington is right outside of Dallas. And so depending on where in Dallas he lives, he's within like an hour or less from that building. So.
Oh, yeah. Did you see Jose, the assistant, was seen arriving to SmackDown in Orlando with Andrade last week?
Yup, and I wouldn't hate it. I think that he would be a great manager for Andrade as he was in AEW. I like it. I like the idea. He's teased going to WWE before.
I mean, as of right now, I mean, he has been wrestling on the independent scene after getting released by AEW.
Yeah. I think he's better off as a manager, but that's just my opinion.
I deep down, I really want Zelina Vega back with Andrade.
Here's my question. Where has she been? Like, did something happen and she's missed like 3 weeks? I don't know what's going on with her. She's like been not at TV for the last like 3 weeks, but then like she keeps trending every week. Do you know what's going on? Because I don't know at all.
No, I don't know.
Gotcha. So after this match, the Elite tried to bail through the crowd. Well, actually, they do bail through the crowd as the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass walk out on stage. Max Caster did his thing and said something about it's nice to be the royal family, or it's nice that the royal family showed up because, you know, the Bucks are never at TV. Apparently, in the Bucks' new contract, they've got like a Brock Lesnar kind of deal where it's like, we've got X amount of dates for the year and you don't want to use them all up early. So that's why the Bucks have not been backstage for quite a while. They said FTR and his two favorite princesses, the Young Bucks, were there. They claimed are the kings. And Caster said that he's the best wrestler alive. Yeah, no, you're not. I get it. This is some sort of Twitter joke you're doing, but you come off as such a dummy when you say that on TV, especially when then you wrestle and your matches are just okay at best. The Bucks couldn't beat the Acclaimed last week or at All In. The belts are coming to the kings. Bowens then said they have nothing left to prove as FTR and the Bucks can't beat them, and they will fight until they are the next AEW Tag Team Champions because everybody loves the Acclaimed. Billy then said, I got 2 words for you. This is his little go-home line. It was okay. They just shoehorned the Acclaimed in there somewhere. But it's like, I wish they would have got some sort of physical. We saw the Bucks and FTR, so why not the Acclaimed? Renee Paquette's backstage checking on Will Ospreay, who was being checked on by the doctor. She asked about his status for Sunday. Basically said he's good to go. Bryan Danielson storms in, walks right up to Ospreay and says, do it. Do it. He's all pissed off at him. He's like, hit him with that Tiger Driver. Basically is what he told him. He's like, oh. Basically, he's felt bad for hurting Bryan with the Tiger Driver. And that's why he hasn't been able to hit the move. But now Bryan's basically just like, no, do the goddamn move. But it's weird because, like, I forget what show it was. Man, I wish I remember this. But there was literally a show. I think it might have been Forbidden Door. No, it was. It was Forbidden Door. So at Forbidden Door, Will Ospreay in that main event with Swerve goes for the Tiger Driver, but can't do it. Yet, like 2 matches before that, Stephanie Vaquer just hit one like it's nothing. The dumbest fucking thing. If the whole storyline with Will Ospreay right now is that he can't hit the Tiger Driver because he hurt Danielson with it, why is anybody else even attempting that move? So dumb. Because if somebody else just hits it, no problem. Will Ospreay looks like the biggest geek being scared to do it. What do you think of Danielson, quote, giving him permission to do the move?
I mean, at least it'll give Ospreay more confidence to do it again.
Right. I think what happens is he does all his stuff, Hidden Blade and Stormbreaker, and he can't keep Max down until he hits that Tiger Driver, pins him 1, 2, 3. It's got to be it. It's got to culminate to him hitting the Tiger Driver and pinning Max. So then we got what they called the final showdown, Bryan Danielson and Swerve Strickland, which is more like Swerve's going to talk forever and Bryan will come out the last 2 minutes. Nigel McGuinness is in the ring and first welcomes out the undefeated over the past year, Swerve Strickland. Swerve calls himself the franchise player, the most dangerous man in all of AEW. Strickland came out while Prince Nana was dancing. Got loud Swerve's house chants, so that's good to see. McGuinness was about to reluctantly introduce the challenger when he was stopped. Excuse me. And he shook Strickland's hand, bringing up Britt O'Brien, the neck break kid. While Strickland is the best wrestler, or in the best shape of his life, McGuinness asks how it feels to be an overwhelming favorite. Strickland said that he's the most dangerous man due to the pain he endures and inflicts by being the world champion. Strickland runs down the list of victims he's had with this title. Hangman twice, Jay White, Takeshita, Samoa Joe, Claudio Castagnoli, Christian Cage, and even Will Ospreay. Strickland will dissect Danielson from head to toe. While Strickland appreciates the generational talent like Danielson, a Pacific Northwesterner like himself, which technically you're not, brother. He still feels disrespected by Danielson, who, he hears, says that he's ready to retire and go off into the sunset. Strickland said that Danielson isn't taking his moment away from him. He is taking it from Danielson. Strickland will make sure that Danielson won't ever get back into a ring again. If Danielson does get the itch again, know that Strickland will be there, even if it's at an indie show in the Northwest, Arena, Mexico, under a mask. Strickland will be there to beat him down. Even if Danielson is at home with his wife, talking about maybe having another match, he'll stop him before he even leaves the house. Danielson's music then hits, and he sprints out to the ring and wipes out Strickland with the Busaku knee, while McGuinness and Nana bail. So, are we eventually getting that Nigel Danielson match before all is said and done?
I mean,
they've really been teasing it, and they teased it a lot tonight. Kinda.
has Nigel said anything about him possibly being cleared?
He said that he has said recently that he's trained in a ring. I don't know if he's cleared, but he's trained in a ring and says he can go.
It's very possible. What if we got that match like Final Battle or something?
Final Battle? Do it at the ROH show?
Final Battle? Like 2 Ring of Honor legends?
I mean, it'd be a hell of a way to sell a Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
Nigel and Bryan Danielson?
I just don't see them wasting that on a Ring of Honor show. It'd be on an AEW show. Like Wrestle Dream or World's End. Hell, do that at Wrestle Dream in Washington, where Bryan's from. Or they could just do it in 2 weeks at All Out.
For the world title, if Bryan wins?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but...
I don't know. I feel like they're going to do it eventually.
I'd say do it at Wrestle Dream.
That would work. So Danielson said that maybe a lot of people are confused, and he doesn't count out. He doesn't come out here 20 minutes every week just to talk about himself. He knows who he is. This is the truth. Strickland and Danielson, they both know it. Danielson is the best fucking wrestler in the world. And you could tell when this man throws an F-bomb, he loves throwing freaking F-bombs. He said that he's been doing this for over 20, 25 years. Strickland can say that he's going to cripple Danielson in front of his daughter. But at Wembley Stadium, the fans who have paid to see him for the last 25 years, his family, his wife, daughter, son, all the people in the back that have traveled the roads with him, they will see what he's got. Strickland will have to do more than just cripple him. He will have to damn near kill him, as Danielson will leave his soul in the ring this weekend. Danielson said that tonight, there's been a lot of talking and a lot of fighting. There's only one question left. Can the American fucking Dragon beat Swerve Strickland for the World Championship? The crowd then does the yes chant. Danielson says, well, they know the answer, and he does the yes with them. Doesn't say yes, but he throws the arms up as the show goes off the air. And we see Swerve and Prince Nana in the aisle. Swerve looking like a great heel, just pissed off and fuming, and Prince Nana holding it back like, just wait, just wait, just wait. So I really like this. I thought it was okay. Not great, but okay. What'd you think of this whole segment?
I thought the yes chant was pretty cool.
Yeah, me too. He's been doing it more. Like he said at first, I wasn't going to do it, but he's been doing it more.
Well, he filed the trademark for it.
True. So somebody sent me a lineup for Rampage this week. But where the hell's Rampage supposed to? Oh, wait. Did they already film Rampage? Like, oh, they filmed Rampage last week. Let's see. They filmed Rampage at the Collision tapings. Okay. That's why there's no Rampage scheduled for this week. There will be a Rampage on television, but it was taped at the Esports Arena in Arlington last weekend. That makes a lot of sense. Someone sent me a lineup. It is the Conglomeration, Kyle O'Reilly, Mark Briscoe, and Tomohiro Ishii versus Brian Cage, the Beast Mortis, and Johnny TV. Roderick Strong will take on Fuego del Sol. Mina Shirakawa will take on Robin Renegade. Gates of Agony versus the Iron Savages. And Ross and Marshall Von Erich against the Outrunners. Of course, Collision does go. No spoilers. The Conglomeration. Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Mark Briscoe versus the Undisputed Kingdom. Roderick Strong, Mike Bennett, and Matt Taven. Willow Nightingale versus Harley Cameron. Katsuyori Shibata versus Jay Lethal. Chris Statlander, Stokely Hathaway versus Lycos 2 and Nina Samuels. Hook versus Big Bill. Jeff Jarrett versus Ari Daivari. And then the wild card last chance qualifier for the ladder match for the trios titles. Pat, Claudio, Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta versus Top Flight and Leo Rush. With that, overall, what did you think of the go home show for AEW Dynamite as I get this poll going on Twitch?
Could have been better.
Again, like I said to start this off, last week felt like a better go home show, and it wasn't the go home show.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. All right, the poll is live if you are watching on Twitch. And with that, let me pull up the lineup for AEW All In as we are going to do predictions. Looks like with the pre-show, 10 matches have been announced, I want to say. 10 matches. With the pre-show match, 10 matches have officially been announced. So let me get this here so I can take notes. All right. So coming up this weekend is AEW All In from Wembley Stadium. 10 matches have so far been announced. And let's look at the card and see exactly who we think is going to come out victorious. So first off, the only match so far announced for the pre-show, which I assume more matches get announced, it is Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway versus Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii. Now, whichever team wins this match, the winner, whether that's Chris Statlander or Willow, gets to choose the stipulation for the Chris Statlander Willow match at All Out. So who do you think is walking out victorious in the pre-show?
I'd say Willow and Tomohiro Ishii
Really?
walk out victorious. Yeah.
I think I would have said Willow if the stip wasn't there of choose the stipulation for the All Out match. I think that fits the heels better with the heels getting to choose the stipulation. So I'm saying Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway somehow sneak out a win. So we don't have predictions because we don't really know everybody in the match, but we have the Casino Gauntlet match. And my question to you is, we know some people in the match. We know Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, Hangman Page, and Evil Uno. But give me a prediction on a surprise you can see in this match. I can tell you mine.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
I think you do know who I'm gonna say. I've said it already once in the last couple weeks.
Ricochet.
Yep, that is mine as well. I think Ricochet shows up in this match. I think. Do you have a prediction on who you think could win the match, though? Is my question. Yes or no?
Is Hangman in the match?
Hangman did announce tonight he is in the match.
I can see Hangman winning.
Same. I'm going Hangman as well. I'm going to go old Hanger. I think Hangman wins it. But yeah, as far as like if a prediction of who do I think could just randomly show up in this match out of anybody, I think Michael Oku's probably going to be in the match. He did wrestle tonight at the Dynamite tapings. He defeated Serpentico. I think Michael Oku shows up, and I think this is where Ricochet debuts as well. Moving forward in a ladder match, and spoiler alert, I'm going to say right now for the fourth team in a ladder match for the Trios Championships is the Patriarchy defending against the Bang Bang Gang, the House of Black, and the team of Pac, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta. Now, as far as my prediction on who wins this match, it's a tough one. This is really a tough one. I'm just going to throw it Bang Bang Gang. Who do you got?
I'm going to be completely honest. I don't care who wins this match.
God damn.
I don't care. I really don't.
I kind of don't either, but you have to make a prediction. So who?
I say Bang Bang Gang mainly because like when they lost, the reason why they lost the belts because Jay White got hurt, like
Jay
Juice filled in for him,
cleared and ready to return. I think he helps them this weekend.
Yeah, so I think the whole storyline is they get their belts back because they never technically lost them.
Exactly. Speaking of tag titles, triple threat match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships is the Young Bucks will defend against FTR and the Acclaimed. Who do you got?
It's kind of a tough one. I don't think FTR wins. I don't.
Okay.
It would be cool. It would be cool to see the Acclaimed win. But at the same time, I kind of want to see the Young Bucks be champions longer, even though they haven't really done much with the belts.
Well, it's because technically their contracts say they don't got to be there every week, so that's why.
Screw it. I'm going Acclaimed.
Acclaimed, okay. I'm going Young Bucks retain. That's my prediction. I say Young Bucks retain, probably because they get some help from old Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada.
Oh, wait. Actually, I'm going to change mine. I'm going to go Young Bucks as well because,
oh yeah,
what if there's a good chance Shane McMahon shows up and helps the Young Bucks?
It's possible. Moving forward,
because what they go, Okada helps, but he gets beat down. And let's say the Acclaimed try to what if it was FTR are about to go with the win, then Shane McMahon comes out. Here's
the thing. I'm 90% sure Shane can also use the same music. Here comes the money. Here we go. Because that is, I'm pretty sure, just a regular song.
It's a licensed theme, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So
as long as you get a license, you can use it.
Well, yeah, it's not a WWE created theme song. So that music hits I think that place is going to go wild.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what part of the show it is. So, yeah, I'm going Young Bucks retaining as well. Moving forward with the FTW Championship on the line, the For the World title, Chris Jericho defending against Hook. Hook gets the belt back. That's where I'm going. What do you got?
Hook gets the belt back, and the reason why is because the whole storyline is if Hook loses, he can no longer challenge the belt like forever.
No, I thought it was just as long as Jericho has it.
No, it's like you can no longer, like, ever, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then Hook wins.
Yeah, they kind of gave that away. Hook's going to get the belt back.
So next up, with the TNT Championship on the line in a coffin match, is Jack Perry defending against Darby Allin. Who do you got?
I'm going to go Darby.
I'm going to go Darby as well.
Darby's never lost a coffin match.
Nope. And that's why I'm going Darby. Because I don't think Jack Perry is the first one to beat him. I don't see it. Also, I saw some people online going, Jack can't lose. He just made the new belt. Well, that new belt also fits Darby, I think. I think Darby would keep that design, that grunge, dirty-looking design that Jack Perry made.
Oh, yeah.
So I could see Darby keeping that specific belt as well. With the TBS Championship on the line, Mercedes Moné defending against Dr. Britt Baker. This is actually a tough one. I'm actually kind of torn on this match, but if I have to make a prediction, I don't want to say it, but Mercedes retains. Who do you got?
I think Mercedes retains mainly because of the fact is they probably just want to keep her happy and give her like a little bit of a lengthy run just so that she doesn't like complain.
Right.
I mean, it would be cool to see Britt win mainly because this is her first like big match since returning.
Yeah.
But
I think it's just too soon to take the title off of Mercedes.
Yeah.
So moving forward with the American Championship on the line, MJF defends against Will Ospreay. Who do you got?
I can see this match going either way. Like, Ospreay could win because, he's the babyface. They probably want Ospreay to have that big, like, home victory. But at the same time, what if Don Callis comes out and they have Kyle Fletcher, like, screw him over, and they do Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher at All Out?
So here's my thing with that. We've talked a lot about interference in this match and interference in that match and interference in this match. Like, if we're predicting interference in most matches, oof, that's not a good thing. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of interference potential in a lot of these matches.
Yeah, which is not good. Like, the Jericho match is going to have interference for sure because the nature of that match, it's no rules. We're going to have Big Bill and Brian Keith get involved for sure. Someone maybe helps Hook. I don't know. But then you've also got, like I said, the ladder match. There's potential there because there's no disqualification. The triple threat for the World Tag Team titles. There's potential there because there's no disqualification. So I hope they don't overuse outsider interference. But who are you saying? You didn't give a actual definitive answer. Ospreay or MJF?
I'm just going to play it safe and go Ospreay.
Same here. I think Ospreay wins for the sole fact that they want him to save the title and bring it back to the International Championship. We've got 2 matches left with the AEW Women's World Championship on the line. It's Timeless Toni Storm defending against the Glamour, Mariah May. I mean, it's got to be Mariah May. That's my prediction wholeheartedly. I don't even have to think about it. Mariah is winning the belt. What do you got?
This one's pretty obvious. It's Mariah May.
Yeah. Mariah May wins the title, walks out of Wembley in her home country with the belt. And finally, in the main event, it is for the AEW World Championship and Bryan Danielson's career on the line. It is Swerve Strickland versus the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Who do you got?
Bryan Danielson. This is a pretty easy one, in my opinion.
100%. Danielson. Like, Danielson's going to win. He's not. So, here's the thing. Danielson is working right now with AEW without a contract. But he has said numerous times, I'm not signing another contract. I'm no longer going to be a full-time wrestler, but didn't state I'm never wrestling again. He still does want to continue wrestling, maybe a couple matches a year. Actually, it was funny because Bryan at one point was like, I'm not going to be full-time after this contract. Maybe I wrestle 3, 4, 5 matches a year till I'm 90. I'll pull a Terry Funk and wrestle forever. But then, like, recently he goes, he did an interview. I can't remember if it was the Fightful interview or a different interview. And he was like, yeah, I'm pretty banged up. I don't think I can make it to 90 anymore. But yeah, because it's
how long did Terry Funk wrestle for? Till he was like 80 almost.
I can tell you right now.
Well, he died when he died when he was 79.
Yeah. Terry Funk had his last match. Let's see. Terry Funk's technically his last match was 2017, which means that he would have been, let me pull up a calculator because I ain't no good at math. Would have been 73 in his last match. It was him and the Rock and Roll Express defeating Brian Christopher, Doug Gilbert, and Jerry Lawler at a big time wrestling show in South Carolina. And the day before, they did the exact same match and they won. So, well, the day before they won by DQ. The next night, they won one. Like they actually won. Looks like. And then before that, he had a match in 2015 where he fought Jerry Lawler. And then I don't know if you remember this. 2014, he went to Japan, and it was him, I'm gonna butcher this name, Masakatutsu. Wow, I butchered that. Masakatutsu Funaki, Mil Moskris, and Terry Funk against Kazuyashi, Nasawa Rangia, and Yoshaki Fujiwara. So, yeah. I mean, he wrestled sparingly in his 60s and 70s, but his last match, he was 73. Because the whole thing is like, Terry Funk always looked older than he was. So people, like, when he was wrestling in ECW, thought he was way older than he was. But, you good? Uh-oh, I think, give me 1 second. Luke may have lost audio. Yep, his headphones are out. So, we're going to wrap everything up anyways. With that, we do have our predictions. 10 matches have so far been announced for AEW All In. If any more matches do get announced, we will let you guys know. And so, yeah, should be a really good show. We'll be here with all the coverage for it on Sunday, during, before, after, break it all down. But with that, as far as tonight's Dynamite, let's see what you guys thought really fast as far as the polls do go. Let's go refresh those really fast. As far as the Threads poll does go, 80% liked the show, 20% thought it was just all right. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 45% didn't like it, 40% did like it, and 13% thought it was just all right. Looking at the YouTube community poll, pop that. 63% liked the show, 18% thought it was just all right, and 18% didn't like it. Person says, great go-home show, and the crowd was awesome. Yeah, the crowd is going to be awesome because it's like their one chance, basically, to see them live. Person says, okay show, great crowd. This person says, haven't watched it yet, I'm at work. Well, then why are you even responding? As far as the live poll does go, 61% liked the show, 24% thought it was just all right, and 15% liked it. And finally, Twitch, 67% liked the show, 33% thought it was just all right. No, 67% liked the show, 33% didn't like it. Let's see, reading Luke's message here. He says, I think it's something on here because I can't hear this. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My Discord got muted.
Oh.
That's weird. Oh, I know exactly what it was. So on my keyboard, my minus key mutes my Discord when it's open. And when I did that thing to figure out the age of Terry Funk, I hit the minus key. That's exactly what it was.
No, I thought my headset went out for a while.
Nope, it was my fault. My bad. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. But Luke, Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, I'm going to upload this to audio platforms, and then immediately I'm jumping over twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. We're doing a Fortnite stream tonight. I think Bangs is going to join me, so we're going to have some fun over there. We're going to run some duos and whatnot. So in the next, 20, 30 minutes-ish, I should be live. Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy playing some Fortnite. But that, guys, have a great night, and we'll be back here on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. Have a good one, guys.